What's up, guys? It's Jay, MorninAfterKill, and I'm back here on Borderlands 2 with some brand new news and information. If you've been following my channel, I've been trying to keep you guys as up to date as I can on the Borderlands 2 PsVita port, which a lot of people have been looking forward to because it's Borderlands on the go. A lot of people enjoy this game, and I mean, why wouldn't you enjoy it while you're not home? Imagine taking a flight across country and you got Borderlands 2 and you sit back, kind of relax, have a good time without carrying around a 15-pound motherfucking laptop. That's right. But it's actually being shown. The first bits of gameplay are popping up on the internet, courtesy of the GDC convention. Is actually on the floor. You can get a little bit of game time on the PsVita version, and right now it is being blasted across the internet by news websites and people that have gotten a little bit of time hands-on with this game. And the biggest problem that's being reported are that there are stuttering frame rate issues, and people are claiming that it's not running even up to 30 frames per second in non-combat situations, which that is a very big problem, especially in this day and age when people expect at least a smooth 30 frames per second. But another big portion of the reason why it's getting blasted is that people are talking about that it has an uncomfortable control scheme. Now, I've never actually played a PsVita, but I do know that the PsVita does not have double shoulder buttons, and also it doesn't have clickable thumbsticks. So there are controls in this game like your action skills, your grenades, and also I'm pretty sure your melee are being mapped to the touchscreen portions of the back of the Vita. Like I said, I've never actually played on the Vita, but this sounds like it can be a little bit uncomfortable and hindering while you're trying to get a little bit, because Borderlands is a pretty fast-paced game, and especially if you're playing at higher levels, you're gonna want to at least be able to throw grenades and melee and do everything that you can do with a regular controller or mouse and keyboard if you're so inclined to play on the PC, and that's how you get down. That's how you get down. I prefer playing on a controller because it feels natural for Borderlands to be on a controller with the double shoulders, L trigger, right trigger, aiming, jumping, all that. And it seems like, especially even like the sprint button, that is a clickable command on the controller. You have to push the left thumbstick down. And if the PsVita version doesn't have this seems like it can get just a little bit awkward. But I watched some of the gameplay, and something that I did notice when they were out in the Southern Shelf Bay, typically that's one of the most jam-packed areas of the game with a lot of enemies. I'm probably actually gonna use some of that gameplay right here. Or maybe we'll just go through Southern Shelf Bay and I'll show you exactly how jam-packed this area is. But the area they were running through in the gameplay I seen only shown 3 bandits in that entire area, and I know for sure there's a hell of a lot more than 3 bandits inside of that area, but it's no surprise that the PsVita version is gonna be a little bit watered down, a little bit diluted. I mean, if you take a look at it, Gearbox has even said the reason they're not continuing with more DLC on the console version is because they have reached the technical limitations of last-gen consoles. And if last-gen consoles can't handle Borderlands 2 in its full entirety, it's kind of silly to expect a true 100% port to the PsVita. Now, my biggest concern here is I don't want to actually talk about the PsVita version being bad, because I don't want to turn a few people off, because, I mean, the fact that we're getting a portable Borderlands game is pretty fucking cool in itself. But I want to look at it from a little bit of a different perspective here. I want to sit back and let's look at this from the business perspective, because this is a real big concern with me, is the fact that Gearbox is not making the Borderlands 2 port over to the Vita. In fact, the makers of Dive Kick, the fighting game that only has one attack in it, Iron Galaxy, is the one that's actually responsible for making the port of Borderlands 2 over to the PsVita. Wait, what? Say what? What? Gearbox! This is a huge undertaking and it's also the first time we're gonna get a portable Borderlands, and you're just giving your biggest, most popular, famous franchise, your most lucrative, mind you, and you're gonna give it away to another developer to port it over. And I think Gearbox's biggest problems right now is they're a company that's resting on the laurels of their success on Borderlands 1, and they're just running everything into the fucking ground. I mean, you could say Borderlands 2 technically is a commercial success, but when you compare the future projections from Gearbox before and after Borderlands 2, you could say that Gearbox is on shakier ground now than when they were when Borderlands 1 was finished. Because when Borderlands 1 came out, nobody was expecting it. It was huge, it was different, it was fresh. People fucking loved it. Now that Borderlands 2 has come out, and they kind of really went away from what made Borderlands 1 popular and kind of installed this quasi-MMO shared world shooter into Borderlands 2, and a lot of people, original Borderlands fans, were very, they were a little bit alienated by the fact that Gearbox went with big numbers and, you know, huge fucking boss enemy health values that one-shot you when you hit you, and you gotta rely on Healthgate, because Healthgate was actually in Borderlands 1, you just never noticed it, because nothing fucking hits you hard enough to fucking Healthgate you, except for Chromarex, and I'm pretty sure Ajax has the ability to Healthgate you inside of Borderlands. But getting a little bit off track here. In my opinion, Gearbox is tarnishing its own name time and time again by half-assing products that they shouldn't. So let's go ahead and remember that's my rewind to time. So anyway, let's talk about Duke Nukem and Alien Colonial Marines. Yeah, let's do that for a second. I know you guys are like, Mac, why are you beating this drum? Yes, I'm gonna beat on that drum just for a minute, because Duke Nukem and Alien Colonial Marines are two shining examples of games that they picked up, paid a smaller development team to finish it, and then slapped their name on it. And when it comes time to blame somebody for this shitty fucking product that everyone has bought, everyone starts looking at Gearbox, and Gearbox is like, nah, that wasn't us. We paid these guys over here to do that. And we just put our name on it because, you know, we're Gearbox. We had the money to go out and buy this franchise, and we just slap our names on it and have a smaller development. No, motherfucker! That's not how shit works. You know what happens when you hire people to do your work? They're called fucking employees. Alright? I don't care if you paid Iron Galaxy to go ahead and port shit over to the Borderlands 2 Vita version. Why? Because the minute you hire Iron Galaxy, they become a part of Gearbox for that project. So anything they're doing, and you're slapping your motherfucking name on it. Now, if Gearbox wanted to take their name on it and slap Iron Galaxy on it, that would be a little bit better than they could blame Iron Galaxy. But the fact that Gearbox is still putting their name on it because they own the franchise, it just means that they're trying to milk a little bit of extra money out of their most popular franchise and not do any work. I mean, if you want to take a look at the Borderlands 2 DLC, none of the Borderlands 2 DLC was made by Gearbox. What? Wait, what? I'm gonna go ahead and repeat that for you. I'm gonna go a little bit slower, and I'm gonna go a little bit dumber. None of the Borderlands 2 DLC was done by Gearbox. except for one. And that is what is highly regarded as everyone's favorite DLC, and that's Tiny Tina's motherfucking DLC. Everybody says, man, this is such a higher quality DLC than all the other ones. And that's because Gearbox had to take a little bit of a, you know, developer, I guess, they took a little bit of leeway with it, and they were able to add class mods, things that might purposely or unintentionally unbalance the game, like the grog nozzle, shit like that. They can't trust the other smaller developers to put shit in there like that, or else you end up with shit like the Rapier or the Sandhawk or the Pimpernel, which ends up just fucking utterly destroying everything in the game and making Gearbox having to do a little bit of tweaks here and there. So Gearbox can take these type of, you know, I guess artistic licenses, and they can do whatever they want with the game because they own it. but they're not going to have any other DLC people making it underneath them. They're not going to let them fuck with the game that much, and that's why Tiny Tina had the most gear inside of it that was actually usable, because, you know, it's Gearbox. If they want to unbalance their game, they're going to, by God, fucking unbalance the shit out of the game. So, I'm just wondering why Gearbox would want to pull a Duke Nukem and Alien Colonial Marines with their flagship series, Borderlands 2, for a PsVita port. I mean, it makes you wonder how long a company can mistreat their customers with shitty, half-assed work while sitting on top of a big fat pile of cash before the consumers start voting with their wallet and exposing Gearbox for a company for what they truly are. And Gearbox is just a company that got lucky with Borderlands. They tried to recreate it with Borderlands 2, and instead they showed everybody they really don't have a goddamn fucking clue why Borderlands is popular at all. Now, that's not to say that Borderlands 2 was a bad game. Borderlands 2 was a great game. Or I should say, it was before Gearboxed it. They just kept fucking with it. It was great when it came out. Even after they patched the B, like right off the bat. Right around there, like level 50, everything was great. It was fun. You were able to fucking do crazy shit inside the game. And then they just kind of trivialized everything and pushed everything towards OP8, where everybody's using the same gear and the same build, and there's no real freedom with your player at all at OP8. And I think level 50 and level 61, somewhere around there, is where Borderlands 2 was at its peak. And that's just my opinion. And it makes me wonder how long Gearbox can keep pumping out crap plastered with the Borderlands name before the Borderlands name is tarnished, dragged through the mud, and left in a corner, skanked up in an alley. And I don't want to see that happen. Everybody, like, you know, really talk shit. They're like, Mac, why are you always talking shit about Borderlands? Because I've said this before, and I'll say it again, is because I think Borderlands 2 could be the game that it should be. So, my name is Jay, MorninAfterKill. Make sure you guys rate, comment, subscribe. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you could leave a thumbs up on the video, I'd highly appreciate it, because it gives me motivation to make more videos for you motherfuckers that watch my motherfucking videos. I don't want to go ahead and blast the PsVita version yet, but you know what? I do want to say, Gearbox, if you're gonna go ahead and port something to the PsVita and make a big deal about it, how about you actually do the work your goddamn self? That way we can get something. We know you got talent. It's there. You showed it to us. Why do you pawn it off on other people? You got the talent. Fucking use it. So, like I said, my name's Jay, MorninAfterKill. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna see you guys later.